So let's make ourselves a running keeper. So I'm going to take the two parts of my watch strap, I'm going to insert them, and I'm going to get my keeper material. I've cut the end flush here, nice and straight, and I'm going to place it on here, and I'm looking to bring it round, again not tightly, not loosely, but fitted to the watch strap. And I'm looking to have an overlap of at least the width of the keeper itself. So this is a 6mm width keeper, so that's my minimum that I'm working with. So I'm going to go for a 7mm overlap. So I'm going to measure and then just lift the ruler, make a small dent in here. So I have a distance of 7mm from this mark that I've just made to the end of the keeper underneath. So I'm going to make a cut there. So I've trimmed the keeper to size now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to skive the ends so that we have a nice smooth overlap without any build-up of thickness. So I've gone ahead and I've marked back on here 6mm from the end. Now we've got 7mm overlap, so we shouldn't see any skive marks. And on this side I'm going to take the crocodile down like so, and I'm going to take it down just until it gets near the reinforcement. I can see it getting darker there as it comes through to the black reinforcement. That's as far as I'm going to go. On the other side I'm actually going to skive away the goat skin and polyester reinforcement, and I'm going to leave the crocodile intact. So we're going to rely on the crocodile grain on this one. So we're just reducing that thickness down. Fear not, because our stitches are going to overlap each side of the skive, so that we'll be stitching into reinforcement on both parts. So now what I'm going to do is just add some contact adhesive up to the skive mark that I've done here, pressing it into the fibres. Same on the other side. And we're going to leave that for about 10 minutes to dry. Right, so our keeper has had time to dry. We're going to put our strap back together, turn it over again, and the part of the keeper with the adhesive on the upper part, I'm going to take that and place it in the center. It's not crucial whereabouts we glue it on here, the rotation of it will be sorted out afterwards. Again, I'm going about 1 inch up away from the fixed keeper, and I'm bringing it over, making sure everything's square, nice and snug. Take your time and then press down together. Give it a good squeeze and we're ready to stitch it in. Right, so removing our keeper, I've got a little block of grey board here. It's actually 3 pieces of grey board glued together. I'm going to slip that through there, reasonably snug fit. Taking a look down from the top, just center it up like so, and now we're going to punch through for the stitches. For this I like to use a stitching chisel. These can be bought fairly cheaply on eBay and Amazon, etc. They're actually just very small 3mm stitching chisels. These stitching chisels tend to displace more fibres than they actually cut, so in this instance it has less of a negative effect on this small amount of material that we're working with here. So we're going to take this stitching chisel, and the distance between the points on this 4-prong iron is 9mm, so we actually get an overlap on each end. So we're going to bind the end of the overlap inside the stitching. I'm going to center that up, down lightly, take a look if that looks good to you, and it does. Straight down, smack it all the way through, like so. Doesn't take a lot of pressure, and I'm going to carefully remove. And now we have our stitching holes, and as you can see, the last hole there just goes over the end of the overlap, and that's what we're looking for, and that just adds strength and durability for the same reasons we did it on the inside of the watch strap over the lining. So I can remove that now. So I have my keeper now in the clams, well actually more accurately it's inside a edge creaser, adjustable edge creaser, which is inside the clams. I'm going to put my first needle in, center up my thread, and now what I'm going to do is backstitch all the way to the end. To make sure it goes side by side as much as we can. And I'm just going to snip the threads on the inside, leaving about 1 to 2 millimeters. So putting the keeper back on our little block here, I'm just going to place it in there, and I'm just going to tap down the stitches. And I'm going to turn the keeper slightly inside out, and we're going to expose those thread ends that we left on there. I'm going to take a lighter and then just press those in like so, and that's simply going to mushroom the ends in, and that's going to lock those pieces in. This is something obviously you can only do with polyester, and now it's ready to go back on our watch strap. And what you can do on the overlap there as well is just get a little bit of edge paint, just a really small amount, and then just go over just really thin. You don't want to build up any thickness, like so. And when that dries, it'll be a nice smooth transition. Now I'm going to take my running keeper here, I'm going to place it over the end. Sometimes it can be a bit of a tight fit, but should go on just fine. There we go. So all that remains is to put this in here, bring the keeper forward a bit more, push it all the way in, making sure that piece is centered up there, and I'm just going to pinch the corners in. So like we did before, I'm just getting the leather, gathering it with my fingers of the keeper and bringing it to a corner, and then just hold that for 5 to 10 seconds, and that just encourages the fibers to conform. And there we are. And now when we pull that out, we have a nice square shaped keeper. Now in order to put these spring bars in, we need to make 2 little holes on each strap.